Welcome to the What is Stoicism podcast.
The Stoics believed that change and death are inherent parts of the natural order, and that accepting their inevitability is crucial for achieving a tranquil and happy life. They emphasized that everything in the universe is in a constant state of flux, and that resisting what is inevitable or clinging too tightly to what has already passed only leads to suffering and anxiety. For the Stoics, the remedy for such anxiety was to internalize the truth that everything in life is temporary, to remind ourselves daily that permanence is an illusion. By embracing impermanence, we can cultivate a sense of detachment and equanimity that helps us navigate life's challenges with greater ease. When change arrives, as it inevitably does, we're not shattered by it, but instead are ready to accept and adapt. The English philosopher Alan Watts expressed this beautifully in The Wisdom of Insecurity, comparing life to music. Quote, "The greater part of human activity is designed to make permanent those experiences and joys which are only lovable because they are changing. Music is a delight because of its rhythm and flow. Yet the moment you arrest the flow and prolong a note or chord beyond its time, the rhythm is destroyed. Because life is likewise a flowing process. Change and death are its necessary parts. To work for their exclusion is to work against life." End quote. The founder of Stoicism, Zeno of Citium, captured the same truth in his simple but profound phrase, "Happiness is a good flow of life." In this flow, change and death are not interruptions or tragedies. They're necessary parts of the whole. Without change, everything stagnates. Growth, progress, and flourishing become impossible. Without death, there's no urgency, no reason to commit, no motivation to improve ourselves or to act at all. It's the awareness of life's brevity that gives it its sharpness and sweetness. Thus, like the Stoics, we practice acceptance of change and death. We learn to adapt when they occur, rather than resist them. Life is like our favourite music, a rhythm of beginnings and endings, pauses and crescendos, accelerations and slowings. We don't wish for a single note to be held forever, but we appreciate each one as part of the whole. In the same way, we savour the flow of life, knowing that its ending is part of what makes it precious. But if everything in the external world is in constant motion and ultimately outside of our control, what remains stable? Where can we root ourselves in order to face this ever-changing flow? The Stoics answered with a striking claim. We have complete control over our thoughts, desires, and aversions. In other words, we possess freedom of will. This idea can be difficult to accept at first. After all, don't people and events influence us all the time? Isn't it possible for others to manipulate, pressure, or even force us into choices we wouldn't otherwise make? In his discourses, the ancient Stoic teacher Epictetus pushes back strongly against this notion. He insists that the final choice always resides within us. Quote, "Can anyone stop you assenting to a truth? No, no one can. Can anyone compel you to accept a falsehood? No, no one can. Do you see that in this domain you have a faculty of will that is unimpeded, unconstrained, and unobstructed? And what about the domains of desire and inclination? Isn't it just the same? Who or what can overcome one of your inclinations except another of your inclinations? Who or what can overcome a desire or an aversion except another desire or aversion?" End quote. Even in the most extreme situations, Epictetus argued, no external threat can penetrate the freedom of our inner faculties. He illustrates this with the example of someone threatening death. But if someone threatens me with death, that's a kind of constraint. To which he replies, no, it's not the threat of death that's constraining you, but the fact that you judge it better to act in ways that enable you to avoid death. Once again, then, we find that it's your judgment that's constraining you, which is to say that your will constrained your will. This teaching is both humbling and liberating. It reminds us that no matter what happens outside of us, loss, change, insults, threats, we still possess the ability to choose how to respond. External events are beyond our command, but the judgments we form about them are ours alone. Thus our freedom, according to Epictetus and the Stoics, is always up to us. With every truth or falsehood presented, we have a choice. With every external force trying to pressure us, we have a choice. With every desire or aversion rising up within us, we have a choice. If only your will can constrain your will, then the responsibility falls to us to make choices today that ensure our inner freedom remains intact. This is the essence of Stoic practice, not the elimination of emotion or desire, but the cultivation of wisdom, so that we assent only to what is true and align our will with what is good. If you so wish, Epictetus reminds us, you are free. If you so wish, you'll blame no one, find fault with no one, and everything will be in accord not just with your own will, but with God's. When we put these two Stoic insights together, the inevitability of change and the freedom of our will, we arrive at a profound formula for resilience. The world will flow as it flows. Change and death will arrive whether we resist them or not. But within that flow, we carry a faculty untouched by external forces, our capacity to choose how we meet what comes. To live well, then, is to harmonize with the music of life's impermanence, while exercising our inner freedom wisely. We don't cling to permanence, and we don't surrender our will. We adapt to the rhythm, while remembering that in the domain of choice, we remain free. This balance between acceptance and agency, between letting go of what we cannot control and holding fast to what we can, is at the heart of the Stoic path to flourishing.